To summarize, to conclude, to put it all in perspective, I want to leave you with a few thoughts. What is it that makes good customer service? So there are 5 points according to me. There are many more, but 5 main ones. Here they are. Attitude, 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 and attitude. That's on the lighter side. But let's get a little more serious. What are those 5 things that really make you deliver customer service? 1, knowledge. You have to have knowledge of your product. No matter how good your intentions and services, no matter how good your environment is, if you don't know what you're selling, you're gone. Example, you go to buy a new phone. You want to know the features. If the sales agent there doesn't know the features, they cannot explain to you, you're gone. He'll go and buy the same phone somewhere else. So knowledge, that's number 1. The second one is your product has to be good. I mean, that's a given. If you don't have a good product, it doesn't mean you shut shop. It means look at your product and change it. Change it on what basis? What the customer is saying, for which you need to keep your ears and eyes open. Change it because you are humble enough to acknowledge that just because you created the product doesn't mean it's God's gift to the marketplace. Because God is not your market. The marketplace is your individuals. And you can't say what the individual wants. The individual will decide what he wants. The third point I think I want to talk about is you might have the best product, but you need to have distribution. Now that distribution today has taken on a new meaning because of technology. And that's a huge enabler. I keep saying 2 words, huge but enabler. It's only an enabler, but it's huge. And you have to recognize its strength, its weaknesses, its capabilities, and how it can kill you. So distribution is important. The next one, and which is again important, is the environment that you create. Now that environment can be brick and mortar, it can be convenience of location, or even even if you are selling things on the net, which a lot of people do today, the convenience with which people can browse the net and go through your website and be able to order. How many clicks? We are a world that has got spoiled. Today, 20 years ago, we didn't have internet as an enabler at all. Think of your life without internet, without mobile, without anything. Today, if I have to click 3 times instead of 2 times, I'm saying, oh my God, what an inefficient process this is. So expectations are changing. And again, your expectation, your deliverables or your capability to stay in touch has to be 1 step ahead, not behind what the expectations of the market are. So how do you judge those expectations? How do you find out what are those expectations? Only one way. There's a famous regulatory requirement which I'm going to convert into a business requirement. Know your customer, KYC. Know your customer again has got different connotations. One is you have to know who your customer is. It's no point selling Cartier watches to people who have income levels of 500 rupees a month. That's not your customer. Alright, so know your customer. The other is know what he wants or what she wants. Know what price it is what price level they can get in. What is the distribution process they want? How do they want it delivered? What kind of service do they expect afterwards? There's a whole lot of stuff that comes into knowing your customer. And unless you're in touch with your customer, I'll give you a simple example. When I started the credit bureau, my customer at that point, one of my batch of customers were the banks. There were 120 banks in the country. The nationalized banks, the private sector, the public sector, the old banks and all that. They were my customers. I can say this with my hand on my heart. I have met 120 banks, all of them, personally. I had a head of marketing and I had a head of sales and I had relationship managers and they all went. But I went with them because I wanted to know what my customer wanted. I wanted to hear it myself, I wanted to sense it, I wanted to interpret it, and then I want to be able to deliver. Some component of that effort stands testimonial to the success that the credit bureau industry and CIBIL have had in the over years. That we knew our customer, not because we theoretized in the boardroom, not because we shared our experiences, but we actually went out in the field and spoke to them. If I went to a bank, I'd speak to the IT guys, the credit guys, the underwriting guys, the managing director, the guy who packs the papers and all that, and try to understand what is his problem. Did we always find a solution? No. Did we always find a solution that suited him? No. But we were sensitive to it, and we factored that into all our processes. So again, to summarize, knowledge, know your customer, distribution, and a super product. But above sitting on top of all of that, there's one more angle which we seem to forget because we are so busy dealing with the external customer. Your own employees. Be sensitive to them because they are also your customers. If you combine these 5 into a nice cake or whatever you want to call it and ice it with your attitude, you actually are on a winning wicket. And you will never again worry about losing clients because of bad customer service, because that is the crux and that's the foundation on which this whole thing has been built.